Finding balance. One of the big struggles in our humanity is finding the right balance in our lives. We often swing between obsession and apathy. So either we're really into something or we just don't care about something at all, rather than finding that middle path. This can apply to any aspect of our lives. For example, we may enjoy a type of food so much that we decide to eat it nonstop until we're sick of it. Another person may avoid good food completely to the point that they don't get to partake in some of the pleasures God has granted us in this life. Finding the right balance in our life often takes a lot of wisdom to achieve. Moderation is a Qur'anic principle. We do have some examples of moderation in the Quran. Seek refuge in God from Satan the rejected. Bismillah. 2567. And when they give, they are neither extravagant nor stingy, they give in moderation. 1729. You shall not keep your hand tied to your neck, nor shall you open it up, lest you end up blamed and remorseful. Some may practice an ascetic existence, giving up all pleasures of this life, thinking that that will lead them to a path closer to God. Unfortunately, giving up everything often means someone else has to pick up the slack. I'd like to give the example of the town my mom grew up in. There's a lot of people there who are extremely generous, to their credit, to the point of not letting you eat sometimes even the same food, which is still very good, one day later because you're a guest and they want you to have something fresh every day and so forth. Sadly, this often results in members of the communities having to take loans from others because, like God warned, they spent a little too openly. This would easily have been solved had they been saving for a rainy day instead of opening up their hands foolishly, as the Quran tells us. On the other hand, some people are extremely stingy. God teaches us that the stingy are stingy towards their own souls, 47:38, meaning that we are actually hurting our souls by being stingy. We have to remember that everything we spend is actually an investment that produces returns multiple times over. It's better than any investment deal we can make or find on this temporary earth. We cannot take our things with us when we die, but we can be generous now in the hopes that God will provide much better for us in the hereafter, inshallah. Moderation in worship. The title here may sound counterproductive. After all, shouldn't we praise God as much as we can in our lives? True worship is actually measured by sustainability and sincerity. If we lock ourselves up in a room and recite Al-Fatiha on repeat, we are neglecting our labor in this life, and that will just become a burden on everyone else who now has to provide for you as you live this ascetic life, um, and take care of us. A person who remembers God with presence is often better off than one who obsesses about remembering God constantly and then abandoning worship altogether because of this new burden they've created for themselves. Our Creator knows that our faith does not grow from 0 to 100 overnight. Faith takes time. Excuse me. Moderation and judgment. We all probably had that teacher that in school that punished consistently and without remorse. While someone may be legally in the right to seek out punishment, it's also important to offer forgiveness. When we punish consistently harshly, we often forget all the times in our lives when we need mercy and forgiveness. It's always important to take a moderate path in judgment, not being too merciful as to let evils run rampant, but also not so harsh that we forgot the purpose of mercy. Forget the purpose. Quran 731 teaches us about being moderate in our eating and drinking. With Ramadan coming up, we are given the opportunity to reset and learn to appreciate whatever sustenance comes our way. When we overindulge ourselves, we start to lose interest in the things we overindulge in, whether that's food, drink, sports, TV shows. Really, you can apply that to just about anything in your life. Hobbies. We know that play in this life is not forbidden, but when it consumes too much of our time, it often ends up pulling us away from the remembrance of God and turns into imbalance in our lives. Think about Solomon spending time with the horses, and he became a little too consumed with the joy that brought and forgot to uh, put some focus into his worship. Seek the middle path. The middle path is choosing restraint when desire calls. It is choosing mercy when anger arises. It is choosing patience when frustration grows. It is choosing remembrance when distractions abound. Excuse me. This path may not be loud and may not attract attention, but the most important thing is attracting God's pleasure. This life is temporary, but the abode of the hereafter is eternal. So let's prepare for the infinite.